Welcome to this edition of Motor Trend. I'm Jim Scouten, and these two wonders are the baddest Fords you can buy. They're the newest pair to spring from the mind of Steve Saleen.
Well guys, the car is finally done. Just did a couple things to get it all tied up, and it's looking great. I am so glad to finally be at this point. So let me go ahead and walk you through some of the things that we did to kind of finish this thing off. Starting with the interior. New door panels, new rear quarter panels in dark charcoal. Dash was re-dyed in dark charcoal. Center console as well. And it's just looking great. Everything is all put back together. It's all the same color for the most part, slight color change. It's actually a lot less noticeable in person. The camera just makes it kind of look funky. Moving down here, brake calipers are now red. Did some new slotted rotors on it, new pads. Of course, had to make the Brembos look a lot better. Really crusty, really ugly looking black with white text. I never liked it anyways, wanted something to stand out. So I went with Brembo red on all the calipers, and man, does it just look so much better. It really just kind of completes the look of this car. And I'm just so thrilled to have this thing done. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hop in it, go for a little ride, gonna go shoot some photos, and we'll get some point of view footage of what it's like actually driving this thing. All right, let's get that cold start. Unfortunately, as soon as I pulled out of the garage, and because this is Florida, it decided to pour rain with absolutely no warning and nothing on the radar at all. Well, I guess one thing that I will say about Florida, it is nice, but it is also a downside is, when it does rain, the sun does come back out, and the sun normally dries everything up. So that's always nice. Roads are already dry. It probably stopped raining about 15 minutes ago. But of course, the other extreme to that is it's going to get hot really fast. And if the roads are a little bit slick, like they probably still are, you know, the other issue we might have is no traction. Especially since I need new rear tires. I have no idea where we're off to right now. Just gonna go look for a spot to shoot a couple photos real fast, probably not too far from home. I don't want to go too far away. This car still has some things it needs to prove. But it drives really nice. And would probably drive better if I was better at driving it. A couple things you probably notice here. Inside, overdrive light, still blinking, haven't gotten that turned off. Car still thinks it's an automatic, just doesn't know where the transmission is. That's cool, not a big problem. Another issue is the speedometer, not 100%, actually it's not even close. It's about half of what my actual speed is. But the nice thing is I've got Waze down here to tell me a GPS speed, so it's good enough for right now. No need to worry about it too much. Get her in a little bit of boost and see what she does. Feels fantastic. Rev match was kind of bad. Oh well. Working on it. We were making about 11 pounds of boost right there, which is a lot for the MP90. It's actually pretty much the peak of the MP90. And it's really the peak of the 2-valve too. The 2-valve really can't handle more than about 11 pounds of boost on stock springs, stock cams. Things just don't go well after that, from what I've heard. But on this blower, it doesn't really make much more sense to spin it any faster. We're pretty much at the peak. I'd say right now we're sitting at about 85 degrees outside, maybe 90 on the feels like temp. I'm no meteorologist, so I can't tell. I'm just guessing. But right now we're sitting at 112 intake temp. We're just cruising. Coolant temp 170. Not bad, considering that most of these cars run way hotter than that. The cooling system on this Series 2 blower kit, I built up a lot, spent a lot of time on trying to dial it in and get it right. So it'll run cool, run the best that it can. And a lot of people think that's pretty crazy to put the time and effort that I put into getting this blower to perform as well as it does. But that's the really cool thing about trying to make the most of something. You can learn a bunch, and there's some things you can try that a lot of other people haven't. And this car has shocked quite a few people that have ridden in it since it's been done and put back together. Most people don't expect this kind of performance from such a little blower, and on a motor that honestly doesn't breathe that well from the factory. It's really not that high performing of a motor. You know, the 2-valve only makes 260 crank from the factory. So when people make 260, 270 crank with bolt-ons, or my bad, wheel with bolt-ons, that's really good. And so now when you're talking about the Saleen, which makes 350 wheel, well, not wheel, crank from the factory on a good day, maybe on the first pull, and then everything else is going to be, you know, it'll probably make 290 wheel, which is really not that impressive. With just the cooling mods added to this and nothing else, no pulley swap, nothing else, these cars will make up to 310, which is really good starting place. And then, you know, pulley, do an exhaust, do anything like that on it. And, you know, you can get into 340, 350, 360. I've seen some go up to 380, and 380 is that's moving for this blower on these cars. That's really, really hauling butt. For a 20-year-old car that has been through hell, I mean absolute hell, this thing drives real well. Also, considering the fact that I built it. When I started this car, and I started this project, I didn't know how to even change oil. And almost 3 years later, I've now had the entire body kit on the car redone. I've had all the paint and body work redone. New motor, a trans swap, a manual swap, entire interior redone, suspension work, all of that stuff. Stuff that I would have never known how to do. And I learned from YouTube, and I learned from the online communities and the forums, and I learned from my friends. And man, it has been an experience. I'd say overall it's been a great one. Been a couple little hiccups here and there, a couple tools broken from being slammed or thrown around, some colorful language said from time to time, but man, this is one of those days where you just get to enjoy this vehicle and enjoy the fruits of your labor. And man, it's so nice. It's so awesome. The rain cooled it down just enough. It's pretty nice out today. IATs are still below 120. That's fantastic. That means everything is working as it should. Man, that is awesome. That's just fantastic. I'll tell you another thing I really love about this car. This DNA motoring exhaust. It's a really cheap exhaust, and for some reason it just sounds really good. This is stock exhaust manifolds. I didn't do long tubes. I know in a previous video I mentioned doing it. It was too much of a hassle. Didn't feel like dealing with it for the 5 horsepower it would probably have been worth. So stock manifolds, BBK X pipe, which is just regular steel. It's not stainless or anything like that. Has a cheap stamped X pipe. It's really not that high quality of an X pipe, to be honest, but it gets the job done. And then this DNA exhaust, which is stainless steel, 304 stainless steel. It's actually a ripoff of the Borla Touring, which is what I believe the Saleens actually came with from the factory. I might be wrong. The exhaust information is kind of spotty on these cars, so it's hard to say. But man, does this sound really good for an exhaust that I have about $300 into. It's really impressive. It flows good, it sounds great, not drony, and I just really love it, man. It's just awesome. It pairs so nice. You can still hear that blower, which is just ear piercing the way I love it, and a nice bit of exhaust to go with it. It's a beautiful mix. I got tipped off by my dad to a place that's got some really cool murals, some cool artwork, things like that. And we're gonna check it out, see if we can't find what he's talking about, and see if this is a cool photo spot to maybe check out. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll find something cool. I haven't taken pictures of this car in over a year. February of last year would have been the last time that I got pictures of this car. So it'll be nice to get some nice ones and be able to post some new stuff on the Instagram. Hi, show a little coyote. Show a little coyote what's up. Totally a ricer now, confirmed. I've been exposed by myself. I'm a ricer. The ricer comes out in all of us at some point. I love this dual wideband by Innovate. It's awesome. Shows you the wideband on both sides. Pretty accurate. Definitely a good thing to have, an important thing to have on a boosted 2-valve, especially stock block. Last thing you want is this car to lean out. Man, you will blow something up real fast. You'll either melt a hole in a piston, snap a rod, who knows. Really need an alignment though. This is something ain't right about this. All right, so had to make a little U-turn, but I found the place I believe that everybody was talking about. And there's some cool stuff over here. So I guess we'll park up and walk around and see what's out here. See what we can get some cool pictures at. So I'm guessing this is the spot. There's a bunch of crazy stuff out here. Now I can finally show y'all the car as well. Out here in the light. Brembos look so good in red, man. I didn't even wash this car too, just wiped it down. It looks pretty good, not too nasty. So let's go check it out. We got a bunch of crazy stuff around here. And some interesting things to say the least. I have not even seen this spot, and I've lived in this city my entire life. Well, the photo shoot is over. This is a super cool little spot here on Mayport Road here in Jacksonville. I'm gonna throw the top up because it's way too hot and I look like I just took a shower. And we'll head back home. We got the top up now. It's a little bit more comfortable now. So glad I was able to get a couple pictures finally of this thing. I haven't taken pictures, like I said, in over a year. I've just been constantly working on it, or working, or whatever, or I've been too scared to take it out. And you know, it's nice to be able to actually get a couple pictures and see what all your work is really looks like without, you know, being underneath it. That's not even a turn, buddy. I don't even know what you're doing. It's nice to actually be able to see this car and look at this car now in a different perspective than I've always had to look at it, which is broken, stuck, not running, you know, whatever. It's always been one of those, and now it's starting to be a car again, and that's nice. Pretty much wraps up this video. Thanks for riding along with me in the car and getting to experience what it's like. I'm so glad that I'm able to actually just drive it now. So next time you guys see this car, I'll be at Saleen Nationals. That'll be on July 30th. So if any of you also own Saleens, hopefully I get to see y'all there and meet you. Stay tuned on the Instagram page, and we'll be posting up the pictures that I took today real soon. And with that being said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.